Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to Via International and this info session and update on the Migrant Kitchens of Tijuana campaign and our larger Via Migrante initiative, of which that campaign is a part. I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to all of you who have contributed to the Migrant Kitchens campaign. A wonderful outpouring of support and generosity in response to the urgent need that we've all been reading about in the news. As so many migrants and deportees have assembled here on the San Diego-Tijuana border, many seeking asylum, seeking entry to the United States, many others seeking to discover a new life for themselves in Tijuana, which for so many will become their long-term place of residence. So I did want to say thank you. Well, you'll hear more right now about that Migrant Kitchens campaign, which your donations made possible. But I also wanted to emphasize that this is part of this larger Via Migrante initiative in which we're trying to take the proven models of community development that Via International has developed across decades of work in Baja California and roll these, make these development models and these development resources, these development strategies available and accessible to the populations of migrants and deportees in Tijuana. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Aida Amador, who's the coordinator of our Via Migrante program. Will you join me with a little round of applause as we welcome Aida Amador to share with us about this campaign and this larger initiative. Aida?
Thank you, John, and thank you everybody for being here and for all your support. Migrant Kitchens of Tijuana started with a vision from a community leader. In 2020, Via Migrante, a program addressing the humanitarian crisis of migrants and deportees stuck in my hometown of Tijuana, started in the middle of a pandemic. We knew more than ever that we needed to act fast. So we started with our original plan with a little twist, providing self-sufficiency tools to migrant communities so they can thrive. A model that Via Internacional and Los Niños de Baja California has done for more than 45 years with vulnerable communities in the border region. We began working at shelters and community centers online and in person, providing courses of food security and also trying to understand their needs, both as individuals as well as communities. Something very important that Rigo always says is that these classes are a hook, un gancho, to bigger issues and bigger results. And that's exactly what's happening. We listen to the community and follow them. We follow their needs and we are honored that you follow them and us as well. Today, we want to thank you because you made this possible. You made this happen. Thanks to your support and your confidence in our work, we had the pleasure and privilege on working with these communities. This is Irving. He is part of the shelter home Casa de Luz that I will talk about it later on. We were giving a virtual nutriecology class at Casa de Luz when this all started. In mid-February, it was our 5th or 6th class when he called our Zoom room and he was not at the shelter. He was at El Chaparral. This was very, very new. We knew about this camp from the news, but that's about it. He and more members of Casa de Luz decided in solidarity to stay and help out. They sacrificed their home, a warm bed, a hot meal, and this was just, it was in wintertime. To provide help for the people seeking asylum. And how did they do it? They were using the recipes from our classes to provide them with meals. More than 2,000 meals 3 times a day for 3 months. How can we not want to help? That's how Migrant Kitchens of Tijuana was born.
Hello, everybody. We are very happy and glad and honored to have Aida from Los Niños de Baja California, Via Internacional, with Robert, with Chris, teaching us how to cook a delicious meal, a nutritious meal. And this is 90 days we were living here, camping here, preparing 3 times per day. So every support is amazing for us because we have to cook a lot of food for everybody. Thank you very much to be here with us, to following us. And we invite you if you want to come and helping us to prepare this delicious meal. It will be our pleasure to have you with all of us.
These are our migrant kitchens of Tijuana. The first picture is a shelter called Juventud 2000. The second one, it's at the camp at El Chaparral. And I love this picture because it says, how do you, ¿cómo lo dices, Robert, eso que la espera no te aburra?
May the wait not bore you.
Yeah, so it's kind of ironic. The third picture is at Border Church. At the last picture, it was the graduation of our nutriecology class at Casa de Luz. And I'm gonna start talking about our the first shelter that we're working with. It's Juventud 2000. This family shelter is located close to the US-Mexico border, a large room with tents for individual families, residents from El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and southern Mexico. Approximately 100 people live there. Right now, most of the people are from Michoacán and Guerrero, Mexico, who are being forced to migrate to the north part of our country as the town is being taken by criminal groups fighting to control the region. More than 50% of the people living in Juventud 2000 are children. This group has been taking the nutriecology class for 14 weeks, making sure that the people who are at the shelter and even the people who already crossed to the US have the knowledge of what is an affordable and healthy meal. This group will have their graduation in 3 weeks. The classes are being given by our promotora Gris every Thursday. It's still ongoing. And we have provided more than 630 meals, half of them for children. This is Jessie.
Mi nombre es Yesenia Ardón, yo soy la encargada coordinadora de aquí en Movimiento Juventud 2000. Pues mi servicio de ayuda acá en el lugar, pues igual soy voluntaria de acá el lugar, yo soy de El Salvador, me vine pues migrando por la violencia que está sucediendo en lo que es en El Salvador por medio de las pandillas. Entonces pues yo llegué hace 2 años, incluso viajé en lo que le llaman la bestia en el tren, es bien arriesgoso, a nadie se lo deseo.
And she decided to stay in Tijuana. She decided to continue being a volunteer at Juventud 2000. And in front of the shelter, she has a pupuseria, which is a Salvadorian dish, very, very tasty. And she has plans on staying in Tijuana. The next place that we have or had our migrant kitchen is at Camp La Esperanza at Chaparral. On February of this year, the most vulnerable people from Tijuana and Central America began to arrive to the international port of entry called El Chaparral in Tijuana with the intention to request asylum in the US. Migrant Kitchens of Tijuana started at Camp La Esperanza when Via International joined community leaders from Casa de Luz, Los Niños de Baja California, deported veterans, and started providing nutritious meals for more than 2,000 people. At La Esperanza Hope Camp, we provided meals every Saturday, and it was more than 6,700 meals. And I wanna ask Robert if he can join me and talk about a little bit more about the La Esperanza camp.
Absolutely. Thank you, Aida. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. Our work through Via Migrante at La Esperanza camp has permitted us to establish additional collaborative efforts with other organizations. And one of the programs that has been born out of that collaboration is an alliance, which we have designated as CHA, which stands for Chaparral Humanitarian Alliance. And the need for this alliance was born out of the need of the people at the camp to find hope, and also that opportunity for them to be able to take advantage of Title 42 exemption that was arranged by the ACLU. Basically, what CHA is doing or was doing at that time in the camp was locating the vulnerable families in the camp and providing them the access to apply for Title 42 exemption, which would permit them to enter the United States to continue their asylum case. The alliance consists of attorneys from Border Angels, APLA, which is Asia Pacific Labor Alliance, with our friends from American Friends Services Committee, with our psychologists at Psicólogos Sin Fronteras, our friends also at Borderline Crisis Center, and of course, another organization that I collaborate with, Unified U.S. Deported Veterans Resource Center. Through our efforts at SHA in collaboration, of course, with Via Migrante, to this date, we have secured the approval of over 800 migrants who have been approved to be paroled into the United States. Out of those over 800, about 650, if not a little bit more, have already entered the United States through this collaborative effort.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
This is Gris. She has been in the organization Los Niños de Baja California for almost 20 years. Her mom is a promotora as well. She started with this program from the very beginning, giving in-person classes in the middle of the pandemic. She also lost her job because of the pandemic. So this is a way of helping our people as well. She has been a key element to our migrant kitchens of Tijuana.
Muy buenos días, mi nombre es Griselda Aldana y soy promotora de nutrición, no soy maestra, soy promotora de nutrición porque estoy promoviendo la salud, promoviendo alimentos saludables. Entonces, como me dicen maestra, es un honor, pero soy promotora de nutrición. Y pertenezco a los niños de Baja California. Y pues cuando me hablaron de este trabajo, me dio un poco de miedo porque tenía muchos años que no trabajaba, pero gracias a Dios me dijeron, piénsalo, pero no lo pensé ni 5 minutos. Entonces acepté con mucho gusto.
And last but not least, Border Church and Casa de Luz. Casa de Luz is a collective and inclusive space formed by and for the LGBTIQ plus community and diverse families, as well as for the migrant communities in Tijuana. And the Border Church is a non-sectarian Christian ministry centered in the celebration of open table communion on the US-Mexico border. People from both the United States and Mexico have gathered each Sunday afternoon to share communion at Friendship Park. So as the song said, follow the leader. When the Casa de Luz team decided to leave Camp Esperanza after more than 3 months of living there, we continue with our migrant kitchens. We are preparing food, and I say we because every time that when I tell Gris that we are preparing food, she just gives me a look like, we? Are you sure we? Because of course she and the people at the camp are the ones who are doing the food. So now they prepare the food at Casa de Luz. Some of the food stays at the Casa, and it feeds more than 50 people that are living at Casa de Luz. Another part is served as meals at the Border Church for migrant and deportee families that are there every Sunday. And after the service, They start from 8 a.m. The service finish around 2. They start providing meals at 2. They finish around 4. After that, they gather everything, go to Casa de Luz, and after that, with their own money, they go to the Chaparral to feed people from the Chaparral as well. So they still work a lot. And I don't know, Rob, if you want to talk about Border Church and Casa de Luz and what are we doing? I think we've been doing it for over a month, right?
That is correct. It's been over a month that we have been catering meals to Border Church. And the reason I say catering and kind of make an emphasis of it is because that is part of the plan in developing communities in our neighborhoods, is taking some of these key leadership persons and organizations such as Casa de Luz and creating or helping them as they develop their community. And in particular, what we're looking at is perhaps establishing catering services that meals that are prepared, such as Casa de Luz, can serve as perhaps a catering service to support our other communities that may be lacking of kitchen opportunities. This was very essential to us because prior to COVID, we were serving a meal at right after Border Church. And however, because of COVID, that had to be done away, since we have started gathering at Border Church on Sundays once again. Again, the need for the providing meals to our deported and migrant community arise. And we saw that as an opportunity to begin that perhaps development of catering service by offering the service to our Border Church through the efforts of the kitchen at Casa de Luz.
Thank you, Robert. So right now we are preparing meals every Sunday, and we have been serving for more than 500 people. And this is Vero. Vero and her daughter Tati are the ones that are in charge of serving every Sunday. They were at Chaparral and now are in Casa de Luz. And Robert just mentioned to me tomorrow they will be crossing to the US. So we're very happy about that. We're sad that they're leaving, but very happy that they can.
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Me llamo Verónica. Pues acá estamos con mucho amor y con mucho cariño haciéndole comida a los migrantes.
And this is some of the meals that we prepare. You can see soy ceviche tostadas, minestrone soup, tacos de cabeza, de soya, lentil burgers, chorizo. There are a complete meal, nutritious, affordable, easy to make. Usually our protein doesn't require refrigeration, which was very important at Chaparral because they didn't have a fridge. But as I mentioned, this is just part of a bigger picture. Migrant Kitchens of Tijuana was a response of what community leaders told us that needed to be done. Something that we always do as a community development organization, asking what the community needs. This Migrant Kitchens of Tijuana was very successful way to, one, help with a primary need, which was food. Two, get to know the community and gain their trust. And this is very important, and it takes a lot of time. I remember that when we started, Jesse from Juventud 2000 and Irving were very, very private. They didn't talk as much. We just saw each other when we had to prepare meals. And now we have their WhatsApp. They ask how we are. And then, like, for example, Irving had a birthday. We had a birthday celebration. So gaining their trust is very important for them, but as an organization as well for us, because they have the confidence to tell us what they need, and we can find the solution together, which is very important. The third thing is work as a team. So in the future, we can provide the necessary tools so they themselves can work in the development of their own community. So what is happening right now in Via Migrante? I'm happy to say that we are starting our first Via Migrante micro loan group. Some of the women are interested in becoming community leaders with the nutritional program. And we are talking with Jessie and Chema from Juventud 2000 that they want to improve their pupuseria that they have in front of the shelter Juventud 2000 and open a food cart as well. And Elisa is going to talk about the micro loan groups. Are you there, Elisa?
Yeah, I'm very excited and very pleased to be here with you all today. I think you are hopefully experiencing, as I am, this amazing team of people that have come together to make all this work happen in a very difficult moment. The organization Los Niños de Baja California began offering microloans in the communities of Tijuana and Mexicali in 2004. We have at this point loaned over $2 million to small entrepreneurial initiatives in these communities. What I want to say too is that these people that are coming, these people in the camps, these people in the shelters, many of them will stay in Tijuana. And our goal, our hope is that they will, with some tools and some support, become viable, thriving residents of these of our community of Tijuana. And the most exciting news, at least for us, it's been a kind of long path to get there, was that the graduates of the Deported Mothers group that took the nutrition program several expressed interest to continue and receive microloans. I'm pleased to say that in the next 2 weeks, they will be receiving their inaugural loan, and we hope that this will mean an ongoing loan cycle of many years with us. These are people who are staying in Tijuana. I think you heard the confidence in the voice of Yesenia there at her Juventud 2000. She has also chosen to stay in Tijuana. She is not seeking to cross the border. And she is very vibrant, she is very entrepreneurial, and we believe that our next steps with the pupuseria will be something towards supporting that, if you will, migrant kitchen, to continue offering the income from that in support of the shelter. As well, the interest from these groups to they themselves become community leaders and offer the programming, this nutrition and ecology education to others in the community will be the opportunity we have to do that training and education. So we're very excited about these future steps and very pleased that the folks here on the Zoom and some in our later audiences will be appreciative of the next steps, and we are very appreciative of your support to have made this initial work happen.
Thank you, Elisa. So this is Maria Esther from Madres y Familias Deportadas, Deported Mothers and Families. Now she will be part of a microloan and also wants to put together a group to start a nutriecology course in her community.
Pues el proyecto ha sido maravilloso. Como lo vuelvo a decir otra vez, he aprendido cómo alimentar otra fuente de alimento, como dice usted, en cuestión de poco dinero y nutritivo. ¿va? Y pues las clases que hemos llevado desde cómo se puede preparar la tierra también y cómo sembrar, cómo poder nosotros mismos en nuestros hogares, en nuestras macetitas, como lo dicen, cualquier macetita se puede hacer y poder sembrar las semillas que nos han proporcionado aquí para poder hacer un huerto nosotros también. Eso es bien importante porque vas aprendiendo a cómo cultivar las legumbres, todo lo que hemos aprendido aquí. Y también quiero darle gracias a la maestra Griselda, que la verdad ha estado aquí con nosotros y este tiempo la hemos estado conociendo, nos estamos encariñando con cada una de nosotros porque nos vamos conociendo y es un gran proyecto para todas nosotras como mujeres porque podemos tal vez en este momento que estamos aquí abrir tu interés como una fuente de poder ofrecer esto hacia afuera, que conozcan las demás mujeres que sí se puede. Claro que sí se puede seguir adelante y pues seguir aprendiendo cada día. Esto. Muchas gracias. Y ya hablé.
And I just wanted to, for you guys to look at the faces of community leaders from the places that we had the privilege of working. Casa de Luz Irving, Juventud 2000 Jesse, Los Niños de Baja California Gris, El Chaparral, Jorge Ibero, and Border Church Vero and her daughter Tati. And on a personal note, but I think I speak for the whole team, I just really want to thank you. Thank you for letting us get the opportunity to meet extraordinary people that inspire us every day to be better persons. And for me to teach my son that every small detail that you do for others matter. I know that since I begged Elisa to let me work with migrant communities, because I was doing communication work at the organization and never worked with community, that this was something that I wanted to do, but I didn't know how much I was going to learn and the joy and sometimes tears that this would bring into my life. Thank you to the community leaders. Thanks to our Via Migrante team, Robert, Dan, Aida Mama, who is my mom, Rigo, and Elisa, for giving me the opportunity to work with you and to work with these extraordinary people and community leaders.
Quiero aprovechar esta oportunidad para hacerles un llamado a todos ustedes a que sigamos siendo solidarios ante todas las injusticias que vemos y que no nos quedemos callados. Y a veces es mejor guardar silencio y ponerse a actuar que causar polémica. Les aprecio mucho, los quiero mucho, sigamos en esto con todo el corazón y así creando puentes y buscando dignidad para todos.
Thank you very much, and I hope you can continue to join us to establish safe and self-sufficient communities. Thank you.
Let's give a round of applause, please, to Aida and the Robert, Elisa, the whole Via Migrante team. It's such great work that has been accomplished over the course of many months. But that really is seeds have been planted and sprouts are very visible. Shoots of new growth all around. So it's an exciting time for our Via Migrante team. We're very much appreciative of all the support near and far that has been lent toward this program. And we're excited about the next steps that we'll be taking in collaboration with the community leaders that Aida has just introduced you to.